Is the frequency loose? Nope. I'm sure it wasn't asked just because it's formality of asking. This is K4PEW, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Very good. If you have an emergency, call 911. That's an order. You can talk to us while you suffer, or whatever it is you get an emergency for. If it's something we can help you with, we will gladly do it. Family and emergencies come first. Ham radio is a distant third or fourth or fifth. Excuse me. The net may be broken anytime for emergency traffic. For information on this net, you can look on YouTube right now. It's in the search block. Put in my call, K4PEW. It'll bring up a screen that kind of looks like my radio screen here in the shack. It's a lot neater than my shack is. Also, you can go to not Yahoo. You can go to groups. I'm getting ahead of myself. You can go to 146.415, 146.415.net. It's the website number name, and we've got some information on Simplex there, and you can just actually search for Simplex radio. It'll probably come up near the top because we're one of the few that does. It's so long on the net. On the internet with Simplex radio stuff. Other people have, but we've just been doing it a long time and posting things for a long time. Also, you can go to groups.io, groups.in the Oscar, and just do a search for MJSS for Mount Juliet Simplex Society, MJSS. Or you can send me an email, k4pew@awrl.net. The net normally meets at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night, and a bunch of other times when people just casually get on this frequency, which has become kind of a standard Simplex frequency for people to meet. Well, they can meet elsewhere if they like, but this one's better because there's more people listening. I think we set the standard. There's probably more scanners now set to this frequency. I'm willing to bet than any other frequency in Middle Tennessee. Purpose of the net is to have fun, to mess with Simplex and to mess with ham radio listeners, the scanner listener. No, that's not why we're here. We're here to have fun ourselves, to figure out how we can become better operators, hear more stations, be heard by more stations, get better antennas, and be better operators. I don't really have any announcements other than tonight is net number 700 and something. 744. We're starting from the north. We have 3 nets tonight. The 2-meter one we're on right now. That's on 146.415 in case you weren't paying close attention. The 2-meter upper sideband net, which immediately follows, and that's on 144.240. And then we follow that up with a 6-meter net on the 50.135. So get everything ready. Does anybody else have any announcements to make? Well, we got the Santa net coming up the 24th. That's important. So we'll be sending out on things about that. We've got the 10-meter net tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. And that's on the same 2-meter, the same 10-meter frequency. We always use 28.415. That's ably handled by Mike, KM4YRF. That's at 7:30 Sunday night, 28.415. Any other announcements we need to make? All righty. I guess we can go ahead and start. We're going to take, hold on one second. Nope. And when you get 6 dogs and a cat, there's always something going on. Oh, yes, first time. We're going to take the people short on time first. We're going to start right from now, and please come in.
W4EBX.
All right, hold on. I got W4EBX, and that's Eddie. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm doing very well. Hope everybody else is too. A little cool today, but we spent a couple hours outside, and thanks for doing the net, and I'll get back to our movie, W4EBX.
All right, the movie maniac from Gladeville. That was Eddie. Whiskey 4, Echo, Bravo, X-Ray. Who was that other station? It was another rough copy. Is anybody copying that station? I got nothing. All it is a static breaking my squelch, whoever that is. Email me or something. Text me. You can email me, or you can put a note on the top of the chat line here on if you're on YouTube. Is anybody copying that station?
Yeah, it's K4KJ. Here's Whiskey 4, Mike Sierra, India.
Whiskey 4, Mike Sierra, India. I remember the call, but I don't remember the name. Oh man, I'll look that up real quick. Yeah, very good. I didn't copy you, just a little tiny bit of that. That's Dustin in Elkton, Kentucky. So conditions are somewhat favorable. We normally can't hear Elkton at all, but Dustin, some people are copying you. I am not completely copying you. Glad you could check in. That's Whiskey 4, Mike, Sierra, India, Elkton, Kentucky, which is a good stretch from here. Thanks for checking in, Dustin. Yeah, very good. Have him tell Robert. Go ahead. Yeah, very good. Give me your call one more time, Robert. I know I've used it before, but I'm on a clean sheet of paper. You copying, Robert? Yeah, I didn't copy. Anybody else copying Robert up there in Elkton? I'm not getting a good copy on him. Yeah, this call is KJ4 Romeo Echo. KJ4 Romeo Echo. He's also in Elkton. In fact, he's only one of 9 that are in the city limits of Elkton, or they have an address of Elkton. So it's like I said, it's a little ways from here. Robert, I appreciate you checking in. Good to hear from you from Elkton. I'm hoping for better conditions as the winter moves on. Who else is short on time?
KM4YRF. Kilo November 4, Charlie, Quebec.
Hey, Preston, did you actually, before I talk to Mike, did you do the digital net tonight? Because I didn't hear anybody on the what do you call it? Dang, on the USACU Fusion.
Yeah, C4FM. I just used the handheld for C4FM and DMR. Got no check-ins on either one of those, but D-Star did have Eddie and Tom in this evening, so there was 3 of us.
Oh, very good, very good. I just wasn't sure about that. Well, I'll go ahead and check in, Preston. You doing okay?
Yes, sir, doing great. And like I said, I'm going to pop out of here, and I appreciate you getting me in there, sir. Thanks for what you do, Pop. KM4CCQ.
Yeah, thanks for picking that up, Preston. I initially had set my radio and I didn't notice. I pushed the button in the mode selection. I pushed data, and that might have been why I missed it. I didn't hear a darn thing. And then I pushed it over. So anyway, Michael, you're not on the handheld tonight, or you are?
Oh, I am.
Okay, I didn't remember if you said it was after tonight or tonight you'd be home.
I'm going to be home the week after Thanksgiving.
Oh, Thanksgiving. Okay, very good. I didn't remember when you said that was. Yeah, it's a long haul getting back and forth from your house over to taking care of your daughter.
Yeah, it is. Had a great time at the breakfast today. Enjoyed the company.
Oh yeah, it's always good company. Yeah, it was great. In spite of Rick being there, he's the fly in the ointment.
Yeah, I know it, but you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, you got to take family and ham, so you can't kick them out.
That's exactly right.
Very good. That's Michael. He's here on his handheld. Or you're on the mobile tonight.
No, I'm on the HD. I'm standing outside in the cold.
All right, go back inside. That was Michael on the HT here in Mount Juliet, KM4YRF. Who else is short on time? Very good. Who else? We're going to start again. We're starting from the north, so please come down.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo.
Hey, Frank, you were on the good end of the table today this morning.
I don't know why you said that.
Oh, just pulling your leg. It's there are no good ends to a table, just like that old story about the good end of a thingy.
Yeah, well, I did get to see different people on that end. They were coming and going, so that was neat.
Yeah, no, it's all good. But I couldn't believe how busy the restaurant was this morning.
Yeah, it took. I was like, uh-oh, am I gonna be able to check out in the next hour?
Yeah, it was a little better later, but I mean, there must have been 40 or 50 people walked in that one short period of time.
Yeah, I also think they were. They had a staffing issue. I know I saw the sign, but I think they were also staffing issue. Other than the one lady that normally, there's Norman there. I didn't recognize any of the other people.
Yeah, you're right. It was a little slim pickings, and even for a local restaurant, you'd think they'd be able to find people to work.
I guess they're having the problem like everybody else.
Looks like I'm gonna have to hang out my retirement and go back to work.
No, I wouldn't do that. Not in that business.
Yeah, I used to be in that. Well, I was in room service. I did room service and catering private parties at a hotel.
Oh man, you did a lot of different things. If you start adding them all up, that's interesting though. It's kind of neat. Better than doing one thing all the time.
Oh yeah, no, I've had a variety of different. It's been a fun ride, I'll say, just of the different things I've done over time. But the room service one was a real eye opener to what service meant ultimately, and I ended up doing most of my life in some kind of a service oriented job.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, if you either make things or service, service is a little tricky. To do sometimes because if you don't have something to serve with, which is I think what we're dealing with now.
Yeah, no, the real issue in service is I had, well, quickly said, my best illustration is this, and I just acted normally with this customer. The short story is I went and picked up a contract from a guy who previous visit, 3 or 4 months early, had read me the riot act. I mean, he says, "You're with that company? Okay, great." He chewed me out, told me the big long sob story how he hated my company and my company screwed him over. And I said, "Oh, wow." And I listened to him, and yeah, okay, whatever. And I just listened, and in fact, I commiserated with him. I said, "Hey, I feel the same way if you did. As if you ever need anything in the future, I know how you feel about the company, but just if you need something from me, just let me know. Technical information, whatever, or have a beer, whatever." And a couple of months, about 6 months later, he called me and he said, "Can you come look at the equipment? I need a quote." And I just thought it was a courtesy quote. And you in sales business know what that is. So I said, "Yeah, fine." Went over and did that, gave it to him. A month later, he calls me over and gives me the contract. I went, "Oh, what the heck?" I didn't even say anything. He goes, "You know why I'm giving you this contract?" And I said, "Not really, I don't know. Is it a pricing issue? I don't know." He goes, "Because you sat there and took all the crap I gave you without saying a word."
Oh well, yeah, I've seen stuff like that. I mean, I've had situations, where they're giving you a right act, telling you all this stuff, and then next thing you know, either something, they find reality, and then they come back and say, "Wow, thank you so much," and can I buy another?
Oh yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's some of it's just venting, but this guy had not done business with our firm in like 10 years.
Oh wow. Well, I guess yeah, and sometimes it pays off to do the right thing. I always say no good deed goes unpunished. Anyway, back over to you, KV.RKK.
Oh, absolutely, Frank. No, it's actually no matter what, even if you think it's worth burning the bridge, it's not because you never know what's coming down the road later. Anyway, that was my big passion play for the evening. Who else is north? That was Frank. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Kilo. Who else is north?
Whiskey 4, Bravo, Oscar Delta.
Bravo Oscar Delta. I don't think I've heard that call in a while. Who is this?
Hey, Paul, this is Ryan. Whiskey 4, Bravo, Oscar Delta.
Ah, very good. It's Ryan, right?
Yep, Ryan with an R.
Yeah, very good. It's easy to mistake that on the radio if you're not listening carefully. Yeah, that's cool. Where are you located, Ryan?
I'm all the way at the end of Thundersville Ferry Road, so up by the lake.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I learned today that they had changed the name on the other side of the lake to Sanders Ferry. I couldn't figure out why the other side was called Sanders Ferry, but I thought, well, maybe it was a different name then.
Oh, wow. That's the first I've heard of it. But I also wanted to check in KC9 ETS Paul. He's sitting here right next to me.
Oh, very good. How's he doing? All right.
Yeah, he's just relaxing. I'll do all the talking for him.
Ah, okay. Very. You're his mouthpiece. Huh? Is it a legal thing?
Nothing like that. But you have a good night, Paul. Thank you so much.
All right, Ryan. That was Whiskey 4 Bravo Oscar Delta here in north part of Mount Juliet. And Paul, Kilo Charlie 9, Echo Tango Sierra, also here in Mount Juliet. We're sitting together, um, enjoying a cool evening, I guess. Who else is wherever I was? North. Oh, Zach, how you doing tonight? You sound okay. A little bit of fuzz in there, but you sound okay. One more time on what's your new radio? Ah, very good. That ICOM 6730. Is that one of those D-Star rigs that also does analog? Oh yeah, no, that's a nice feature. I like that. I have a Kenwood that's like that, and I really like that radio because of the dual receive. Yeah, no, I know now. I know that number threw me for a loop. So yeah, 2730. I know of it. I've never used it, but well, I've never owned ICOM radios. I know they make awful nice radios because I've operated them. Oh yeah, I've heard very nice things about that 7300. That's a nice radio. Well, very good, Zach. You really, I can hear you okay. It's just I have to, like I said, if I was wearing headphones, it would be no problem. But just a little bit of noise in there. But not, your signal's coming through pretty good. That was Zach, Kilo 4 Tango Papa, in the vicinity of Lafayette, pretty far north there. Who else is north? To the west. Run over to the microphone. To the west.
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Hey, hope you had a good time this morning, Jack.
I sure did. It was nice seeing everybody there.
Yeah, I don't like sitting in the middle of the crowd.
That way you get in on all the gossip.
No, I meant in the middle of all the people around us, all those non-hams and them, I don't know what you call them, the non-RFers.
Civilians.
Yeah. No, it's just, I don't know, it's not awkward. It's just, I don't know. I'd rather be separate.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, anyway, thanks for doing the net, Paul. Appreciate it. KT4LV, I'm clear.
Yeah, very good. That's Jack and Donaldson. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is west?
November 4, Delta Juliet Tango.
Man, you got a really good signal tonight, Don.
Really good signal all the time. What are you talking about?
Well, most of the time you do, but conditions will change. You know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just pulling your leg.
Yeah. Pulling my jack leg.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, I love that term, jack leg. I was a jack leg carpenter or jack leg mechanic, and it always gives a good image for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, how you doing over there?
Oh, we're doing great. Doing great. It's well, the natives, have been going reasonably well. We have a good time, as we all know. And I think you missed. I don't know, last week maybe. It doesn't. I don't keep. I don't. Well, I keep a log. I don't keep track. I don't keep a running track to see who was here and who wasn't. But I guess I was wondering where you were. How's your pushing up on the continuing on all bands challenge?
Oh, I'm good. I mean, I got the certificate, so flags should be here soon. I hope. ARRL moving a little slow, but yeah, I still got to get my 160 antenna back up so I can knock that band out. I don't need it, but I just want it just for a point of pride. But yeah, something. And kind of stepped away from digital for a little while and just actually talking to people. It's enjoyable now that I'm not really chasing paper anymore. I'm just tuning the bands and seeing who I can find. I actually talked to a German gentleman yesterday. What the heck was his call sign? Um, I can't read it, but he's the founder of the OptiBeam antenna company. And then I also talked to a guy in the UK this morning who was a backpack portable. He was just walking around Birmingham, England, with a radio and a vertical strapped to his back on 15 meters.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, doing what you were doing on the challenge is more like a job, even though it can be fun. It's more like a job, and casual operating is a lot more fun.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm just doing now. Just tuning around the band. I got nothing really left to prove, and until I get the VHF antenna up, and then it's game on again. I'll be, trying to get work all state from satellite and all that good stuff. But for now, just enjoying the lull, and I just like to get 160 up for the winter time. So, if I can get the XCC down there, great. If not, it's all good. But I just like that band in the winter. It's the last low band that's worth a darn.
What do you use a dipole on 160 or a loop?
I have an inverted L on 160. I had one up. I call it a perverted L. It was super short. It was like 73 foot long. It was non-resonant MSET, but I ran it as an inverted L with 8 radials under it. I had a 9-to-1 bound on it. I tuned 160, no problem. Not the most efficient antenna, but it got me on the band. The one I'm putting up now is a full quarter wave inverted L. It'll run up the side of the tower and then out to a tree at about 50 feet or so, and that'll get me out. I'll have about 16 ground radials under it, and that'll work really well. And I have the mag link for the receive. I'd love to put a beverage up for 160, but I just don't have the real estate for a beverage. So between the inverted L and the mag loop, I should be all right.
I would say so. Now you're talking about when you say quarter wave, is that just the horizontal portion that's quarter wave?
No, the entire antenna is quarter wave. Pretty much. Then the quarter wave vertical at wherever you can. Mine will be at 40 foot, and the rest of the wire just runs out horizontal.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I don't think I've ever looked at it. I know what they are, but I've just never seen what the calculations or what the premise is for those. So obviously it works okay. But now that you're going to go to a full length quarter wave, it's going to be a lot better, I take it.
Yeah, get that length of wire out there. It'll tune better too. The bandwidth on the my perverted L was real tight just because you had that 9-to-1 bound on it. And I don't like to run a lot of power through it because the mismatch is so horribly bad. You get some crazy voltages building up in that bound, and I have I think it was like my third balun I had on there because I let the magic smoke out of 2 other ones.
Yeah, fortunately they're a lot cheaper than the finals on the radio or on the amp.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but it all get up. When you have that kind of voltage going on there, I've seen them where in the winter in the right conditions where you can get a nice little blue corona on them, and you don't want to mess around anywhere near that antenna when you're transmitting at your legal limit.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, very good, Don. Good to hear from you. I'm glad you're doing well. That was Don and Bon Aqua, November 4 Delta, Juliet Tango. Who else is West?
KO4 HSD, David in Bellevue.
Hey, David, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Paul. I got my radio back yesterday from being repaired, so I'm a happy camper.
Yeah. How far did you send it?
It's a 991A that I had to send back to Yesu, and I just got it back yesterday.
Yeah, they do pretty good, I think. I got a reasonably good experience with them.
Yeah, I think it was probably about a couple weeks, I think. But yeah, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people with 991s on this net, you know?
Yeah, there is, and on mine, I lost the ability to do sideband on HF and VHF. So sent it in, and turned out to be some a wiring harness. So that's
Oh wow, that's a long way. It was under warranty, I take it.
Yes, it was.
Oh, excellent, excellent. I don't know. Under warranty, do you have to pay shipping?
I had to pay shipping to get it there.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah, I think I put it on a mule because it's like $100 to ship it, wasn't it?
Well, I was able to do it through my work contract, so it worked out not too bad.
Oh, very good. Nice to have those little perks. All right, very good, David. Anything else other than that? Everything else going well?
Nothing else tonight, Paul. Appreciate you doing that. Have a good evening.
Very good. That's David in Bellevue, Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Delta. Great signal. Must be the refurbished radio or the renewed radio, I should say. Who else is West?
Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Antioch on my 991A.
Yeah, we ought to have a 991A net. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
It really is amazing how popular. Well, the 7300s. I mean, Icon's got a nice series of touchscreen 2 meter 70 centimeter rigs, and I mean, there's a lot of out there, but this 991 seemed to have caught fire.
Yeah, I coveted it for a while on Amazon and then bit the bullet.
Oh, was Amazon had that for sale? Who was the seller? Do you remember?
Gigaparts.
Oh yeah. I thought it was, but I was just guessing because I didn't realize a couple of times when I'd seen something on there it said furnished by or whatever from Gigapart.
Yeah, I've been happy with mine.
That must be a pretty decent way to get your stuff out there because I don't think Gigaparts really need it. I wouldn't get the thinking that Gigaparts would need Amazon to sell their stuff. But I bought I had a whole bunch of the points built up on that due to my debit credit card, my Chase credit card, and I got that diamond antenna from one of the diamond antennas I have. It ended up I had like $100 in points, and so the thing only cost me 49 or 50 bucks. And then I read came from Gigaparts, and I said, "Well, dang, I could have just bought it from Gigaparts."
Yeah, I had $100 like credits built up on Prime, and I didn't realize it, but then I found it. But then I got me a little night vision monocular thing, pretty cool. Like I'll ever use it.
Doesn't really matter. It's cool to have it.
I love gadgets. I'm a sucker.
Yeah, I know. My wife and I are too, and I got. Well, I don't want to say how much crap I got around. Anyway, good to have you in there, Greg. Um, yeah, with the monocular, the night vision monocular. Does it work pretty good?
Better than I thought it would.
Cool. Well, that might mean nothing. We had a night vision. Um, I'll call it a telescope. It wasn't really a telescope per se. It did have a magnification when we were in Vietnam on the ship. It wasn't on the land. It was on a ship. And that thing, at that time, remember this is 50 years ago, almost 49 years ago, almost to the day. Well, almost. And that thing must have weighed 15 pounds, and it was work just to hold it up to your hand. And it was hard to aim, because when you're holding a binocular and you're looking over a long distance, a single, one eye thing, it's hard to aim without a bipod or tripod.
Cutting edge.
Well, I'm telling you, that was one of those military things. I don't know how much, it was probably $10,000 way back then.
Oh, excellent. I'll see you on the next one.
All right, very good, Greg. That was Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo in Antioch. No, Antioch, that's right. Who else is West?
Kilo Oscar 4 Delta Foxtrot Alpha, John in Hermitage.
Hey, John, how are you doing? You missed breakfast this morning. We had a good time.
I know. I had some things to do first thing. Dog had to get taken care of. I was an hour behind or two, whatever, this morning, and dog comes first and then breakfast.
Oh, I know. I'm just kind of pulling your chain, I guess, because it's always good to have more. And there was 9 of us there, and I'm not sure the restaurant would have accommodated more. It was very busy this morning.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. I think that's odd. That place is never that busy.
Well, they had closed off that big room. I say closed off. They wouldn't permit anybody over there because they had a big. I don't even know what it was. It looked like a seniors because everybody was probably 70 and over. So I don't know who they were, don't know what they were, They were nice. They seemed to be nice, quiet people. They went over there, and then if you can imagine this, since everybody's been in that restaurant, Courtney's, they all there had to be, I'm going to say at least 30. They all got up at the same time. They weren't doing anything but sitting there for a few minutes or talking. They all got up at the same time and went over and got in line to order food in the line.
Oh man, I bet that ruined everything.
Well, it did for anybody. And then I noticed, I said, man, look at that line goes all the way back to, past the door. And then I saw other people coming into the restaurant. I would have walked away if I saw that line.
Yeah, I would have walked in and went, oh man, all right, let's turn around. It's hard enough to just get your food as when there's just normal people there.
And plus, they had a sign on the door when we got there. It said, sorry for the inconvenience, but we're closing at 4 because for lack of manpower.
Yeah, I guess he's been having some trouble. I've heard some stories around town where he's been running up against the law lately.
Oh, as long as it's not the health department.
No, he comes in the driving department. He seems to have an affinity for the liquor and getting behind the wheel.
Yeah, it's never good. It's never good in the boss either. I've had that problem once.
Yeah, I mean, he seems nice enough, but boy, I don't know. Man, that's a rough business in the first place.
From what I'm told, and since I've never been in that business, restaurants have the highest failure rate on startups.
Yeah, I think it's, wasn't it like 70, 80, 90%? I mean, there's just a good chance you're throwing money away every time you open a restaurant.
That's why it's good to open a restaurant that's a front for something else.
Yeah, exactly. For the money laundering that you need.
Yeah, drugs or, gambling, whatever.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're a smart one, Paul. I think you're cut out for that business.
No, the food business is, I can't imagine. I did some stuff with that in the hotel with room service and catering, and yeah, that's not my ball wax. Anyway, everything else going well for you, John?
Going great, enjoying the cooler weather. I'm sitting in my truck at my normal Dunkin' Donuts spot and just going to listen to the net and see who I can hear. But have a great night.
Yeah, you've got a great signal from over there in the Dunkin' Donuts High Point area, man. That's great. That was John, Kilo Oscar for Delta Foxtrot Alpha over off of 70, and the Dunkin' Donuts, a High Point. You can see Nashville, I think. You can see the buildings at least in Nashville. Who else is west or south? West or south? Please come in.
Remember Yankee Bill.
Hey, Bill, hold on one second. I got, I think that was Michael, Whiskey Oscar for Yankee.
Yes, sir. I'm just checking in with the normal folks. I didn't want to be a lollygagger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we haven't had too many lollygaggers recently. I saw another one. It was referenced to something else, and I forget what it was referencing. A loblolly.
No, that's a new one on me. Haven't heard that one. You talking about food business and all? I always swore I'd never do that, but when times got bad around 2010, I ended up working 2 years out at the cafeteria out there at the Smyrna Air Base for the National Guard.
Oh, cool. That would be a little different than the real food, the retail food business, but that would still be a pain.
Yeah, you didn't have the typical customer complaints, but there were some a-holes out there.
Yeah, military has its fair share, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Anything else for the net tonight, Michael?
No, sir. Just hearing about half of everything out there on the ground plane. And I'll let you get back to it. W04Y, Mike and Laverne.
Yeah, very good. That's Mike and Laverne. Whiskey, Oscar, 4 Yankee. I got Bill in Murfreesboro. How you doing, Bill?
Doing just wonderful. I hope everybody else is too.
Yeah, like I've said, Bill, I think that there's so many nice, pleasant, upbeat people in ham radio, and that's probably why I like it so much.
They seem to be, I'd say, more on the positive side than the negative side, that's for sure. Do they work hard to get what they got?
I think so. And plus, you got to be kind of serious if you're going to drop $1,000 on a radio. You
I don't have a grant to drop.
Well, you know what I'm saying. It's not a unless somebody gives you equipment, it's not an easy thing to just jump into. It's not like going out and just buying an HT.
Well, you've got it. You got to know how to use it and how to set up everything.
Yeah, that's a barrier that I remember how confused, even with a technical background, working my way through the details of the bands and the frequencies and what was required. It was just it was a challenge.
Challenge for me. That's why I like the 2 meter.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that can be a challenge too. Well, it's a challenge only in the sense that you have limitations depending on what you're intending on limitations on who you can hear and who can hear you.
Yeah, but if I can hear from here to you, that's big enough area for me if you make a big circle.
Oh no, it is a big circle because you figure I would be even if that's all I had was from me to Murfreesboro and a circle around from there. That would be great because that'd be a 25-mile radius or so. I think it's 25 miles to about, and I'm a little farther than that. I'm like out at on average probably 45 or some areas it's farther, but say 45 or 50-mile radius, which is huge.
Well, I think we all appreciate that you're there and doing what you're doing, though.
Oh yeah, I think so. No, I as you probably heard me say, I tend to think of it as a service to the hams. Even if they don't check in, it's a service if they're listening because they can determine who they can hear and who they can't hear. And it's kind of they don't have to check in to know that either.
Well, there's a lot of nights I don't check in. I just sit there and listen. But there's other people that want to talk.
I hear you. Well, very good, Bill. We'll just move on. That was Kilo Mike 4. No. Yeah, Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee in Murfreesboro. That's Bill. Good signal as always, Bill. Who else is south?
Evening, Paul. Kilo Mike 4 Tango Mike Tom in Rockville.
I wish you didn't sound like you were sitting in my driveway.
You must have a really long driveway, like about 30 miles long.
No, your signal as always is just killer.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Everything's quiet out here in Rockville, and I was just thinking while you guys were talking about spending money on radios and this and that. I thought to myself, this is exactly what we need to be doing as ham operators. We need to be spending all our money on ham radio equipment because if we don't, our president's going to get his hands on it and you're going to lose it anyway. So you might as well spend it on something you enjoy instead of giving it to the government.
I'd like to believe that's not true. It just seems to be, my wife asked me that question. She goes, we're talking about a specific, I know, we were talking about the mandates and that kind of stuff and a couple other things. And we don't need to go into that. But she says, is this really what socialism would be like? I go, yeah, you got it.
Call in.
Hey, go ahead, Richard.
Rockville owes me a speaker. He's over a 3/4 scale on
me. Yeah, no, he's big signal. I don't think, Tom, were you on at the beginning when the fellas from up in Elkton were on the air?
Believe I was. It was kind of right on the edge. Kind of sketchy copy.
Okay, I didn't know if you could hear him well. But again, it was sketchy copy to me, believe me. I could barely make out who it was. But again, Elkton's, it's all based upon, unless you got a 200-foot tower, it's all conditions.
I'm not even exactly sure where Elkton is. Whereabouts in Kentucky is that?
If you went north about 60 miles from me and then go west about, I'm guessing, 20 or 30.
Okay, so that would, you're 30 miles from me, so if I go 60 miles, that's 90, and then that'd be at least 100 miles from me. And I was hearing him, it was just breaking my squelch,
Yeah, isn't that great? It's nice that you can hear him. I mean, it's like I said, but it really is Elkton and places like that are really based upon conditions because there's a lot of crap between me and Elkton.
Oh yeah, yeah. And hello to Richard up there in Lebanon. Oh, Richard lives right down the street from a house I used to spend a lot of my time growing up in, right across there from where the old Castle Heights Military Academy used to be. My great aunt lived up there, my grandfather's sister, and she. I spent just about every weekend up there, and gosh, that was years and years. That was 50 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. I know that area well, where old Richard is. And we talked the other day for a little while. But okay, Paul. Well, nothing much else going on here. Just I've been watching football this afternoon. I was sorry to see the Vols got their rear ends handed them to them by Georgia, but that's the way it goes. Georgia's number one. They just put a whipping on them. So anyway, I'll just say good evening to everyone in the group. Turn it back to you, and I will get on to something else here. 73, sir. K4PEW in the group. KM4TM.
Okay, you can do the math. I just looked it up. It's 58. Well, round numbers, I'd say it's 57 miles from my house to the fellas in Elkton. And so, and then you're another, I don't know what that is, truthfully. I'm going to say it's down there in, are you due east of Murfreesboro?
Oh, no. I'm southwest of Murfreesboro, out toward Eagleville. I'm almost exactly 30 miles straight south of your house.
Okay, so that would put you about 77, at least 75 miles from here.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I was wrong. It's not actually, it's only about 60 from my house to his, direct shot. So it's not quite maybe 40 or 40 something miles due north and then over to the west a couple, whatever it is. But anyway, yeah, it's a good trip for Elkton.
Yep. It's always interesting to see the more distant stations come in and see who we can hear, and like you always say, see who we can hear. That's what this is all about. KM4TM.
Yeah, no, I get a kick out of it because that fella Robert, that's that KJ4 Romeo Echo. He heard about our Simplexton. I'm not sure how he heard about it. I think he heard us on the air on a very good conditions night. He was so excited about it. He came down for a breakfast the following Saturday.
And where is he from now?
He's from Elkton.
Oh, that's the Elkton. Okay. Oh, I didn't know you were talking about the same guy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was one of those guys. And anyway, it's just interesting how, and that's what I think spawns other nets is people go, hey, there's people out there doing nets. Let's do one here,
Yeah, it just spreads, and that's because I know there's a lot of people with these VHF rigs and everything that they just get caught up in the repeaters and they hit these repeaters and they think, oh, my station's doing great, and everything, and that's maybe all they really need to do or want to do. But when you can work simplex, it's just it encourages you to better things. Because gosh, I can hit a repeater 30 miles from here with an HT and 5 watts, inside my house. It's just it's no big deal. But simplex is a whole different world.
Yeah, the right term for what that was, like repeaters, is you could kerchunk a repeater.
Yeah, I've got 28 or 30 of them programmed in the memories in this 9700 all over Middle Tennessee. I got 4 or 5 down in North Alabama and some over in East Tennessee. I was doing Cookville. I don't guess you can call that East Tennessee, but it's almost East Tennessee.
Yeah, I've got 30 or 40 or 50 programmed that I never talked to, so it's really useless.
Yeah, and then what happens is with this vertical up at 100 feet, I hear a lot of other repeaters on the same output frequencies as those that I have programmed in my memories. And when I do my scanning operation, I pick those up instead, and it gets aggravating.
Yeah, it can be, but so don't scan those repeater bands, man. Just scan the simplex part of the band. That'd be better for you. I know you can isolate it in that radio. Anyway, that was Tom in Rockville. Kilo Mike 4, Tango Mike. Who else is south? Anybody south or west?
Yeah, I'm west. Tail 4, KAJ. Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Alpha Juliet. South and Pleasant View.
Hey, Seth, how are you?
Oh, can't complain. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. My pen isn't working at the moment. It is Kilo Alpha Juliet, isn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah, my pen was having difficulties there. You holding down the fort up there?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Just relaxing. Glad I'm done with all the bush hogging I've got today. So I'll probably be on here a little bit more now.
Very good. Glad to have you in there. You're doing a good job on the radio. That's Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Alpha Juliet. Seth in Bethpage, correct?
Pleasant View. Pleasant View.
I'm sorry. I should remember that. Pleasant View. I'm going to make a note of that again. That's Seth in Pleasant View. Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Alpha Juliet. Who else is south?
Kilo 4 TCS.
Don, give me your call again. I think I misheard it. It's not Kilo Tango Charlie November, is it?
Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Sierra.
One more time. Is it Tango Sierra November?
Tango Zebra Sierra.
Oh, very good. Boy, did I mishear that. Man, that's terrible. I'm gonna have to get my hearing checked. I went to the. I don't know if I told. I'm probably sure I told somebody on the air before. I went for a hearing test for the VA because they were trying to determine if I had a disability from working in gunnery stuff for all those years ago. And the doctor asked me, he says, "Do you have any problems with hearing?" I said, "No, I don't think so." He goes, "Well, do you have ringing in your ears?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, why didn't you say that?" I said, "Because I'm used to it. I hear it all the time. I just ignore it." He goes, "How bad is it?" I go, "I can hear it, but it doesn't seem to bother me." So he goes, "Okay, we'll get you a hearing test, a formal hearing test." So I went and got the hearing test. And the woman who did the exam, big, nice, thorough listening hearing exam, and got the report back. There's nothing wrong with your ears. Okay, I can still hear the ringing though.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I've got a little bit of that background noise too. I get the tinnitus, and I just kind of ignore it as well.
No, it's true though. In fact, when I notice it the most, anybody who's got that tinnitus, I think that's how it's pronounced. If I go out and I'm in the woods away from all noise, and it's at night, it's like that thing is on high volume.
Yeah, you get the quiet place, you can hear it pretty good, but if you're just a normal noise, then you just kind of, I just kind of ignore it. Have the noise kind of come over the top of it.
Right. Anyway, good to have you in there, Don. Don, tell me again where you are.
Smyrna.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Don in Smyrna, Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Zulu Sierra. Love that call. I love that odd combination. Tango Zulu Sierra. Anyway, Don in Smyrna, Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Zulu Sierra. Who else is south?
K1SPD.
Hey Scott, how are you?
Perfect timing. Intermission.
You got any more equipment to sell?
No, I sure don't, but I solved a ground noise problem on my vertical for HF.
What was the solution?
The wind popped the guy wire and the vertical lays on the ground. Man, that thing is quiet.
Yeah, it would be real quiet, you're right.
It still got out and still tuned.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I purposely took down an antenna. I was laying on the ground and couldn't believe I could hear stations out there,
Yep, I mean, I was hearing pretty much everybody, but signal strength was extremely low. But I'm going to try to string up a dipole to replace it for now. There's no damage, fortunately. I just need assistance and standing that thing up. Wait for one of my boys to show up.
How tall is it?
30 33 or 36. I can't remember.
Yeah, you're going to need help in order to fold it up and do the guy wire thing. Well, very good. That was Scott in Laverne. Well, I haven't seen you in a long time, though. I mean, I didn't see you at the Ham Fest in Lebanon, did I, earlier this year? Or yeah, earlier, what year is this? 2021. Yeah, I didn't see you earlier, did I?
No, I didn't make it this year. My son and I ran into you last year, though.
Yeah. I didn't remember. It's, yeah, I look forward to the Ham Fest. You get to see people instead of just talking to them, you know?
That's it. It's a good thing you have this breakfast. I just can't get motivated to get up. All right, carry on. K1 is speaking.
Maybe we ought to have a moving breakfast. We have it one time down in the south, and then one time farther west, and then one time farther north.
That's very agreeable.
Yeah, maybe we ought to try that a couple of times. That'd be fun. They used to do that down in Florida when we had, well, it doesn't matter, similar thing, but it wasn't. It was for business, and we used to move it around into 3 or 4 different cities. Anyway, that was Scott, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta in Laverne. Anybody else south or anywhere?
WB0 Mobile. Juliet.
Okay, I had 2 in there. Mark beat the other person out there. Mobile, where are you tonight, Mark? I'm mobile.
Well, I'm right now on Andrew Jackson, headed out to almost the Wilson County line.
You're doing pretty good. Which radio are you using?
It's a V71.
Oh, it's got that classic motorboat. You know that.
Yeah, I know it does. Doesn't cover me up though, does it?
No, it doesn't. In fact, Scott in Laverne pretty much solved that problem on his mobile unit. It was still there, but it's so far in the background, it was almost not noticeable.
Yeah, you know, I'm using it with the remote head, and I think it has to do with that remote cable.
Hold on one second. Scott, are you still there?
Yeah.
Didn't you put what do you call it on? Where did you? I don't have that directly. What did you do to solve your problem?
I ordered a bunch of bead ferrite cores, and they're snap-ons, and I put 4 of them on the power supply right at the base of the radio.
I put 4 of those bead ferrites, snap-on ones, right on the base of the radio.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I haven't done that. Of course, I don't have to listen to it, so it's not a big deal.
It does. It sounds like a machine gun in the background, if you or a motorboat.
Well, I'll take machine gun if given a choice.
No, it doesn't cover you up. It just it's not annoying, but it's slightly annoying.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go listen to it now that I've got a reference point on the YouTube channel and see what it sounds like. And then I'll probably fix it. I've got a drawer full of ferrite beads somewhere if I can find them.
All right, have we stayed on the line long enough for your XYL to be annoyed by my voice?
Yeah, it didn't take long.
I just wanted to. My feelings aren't hurt. You can tell her that. It's my wife says the same thing about other people and me, for that matter.
Yep. Well, you probably heard her laughing at you. We just left Franklin, drove home, had dinner with friends down there, but we've been listening to you pretty much most of the way.
Oh, very good. So you subject her to me, and that's awful on your part.
Yep. She says she hears you all the time. She feels like she knows you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I think I told you. She asked me. Richard had a very Richard KI4SIB has a very distinctive voice, nice, deep, robust voice. The first time she heard it, she goes, "Man, that guy sounds like a big Texan." I go, "Well, A, he's not from Texas, and B, he's a pretty stout guy, but he is not a big, tall guy." So, really? I go, "Yeah, really."
Yeah. Like 40 or so years ago, we had a guy that used to be on the radio, and he went by Big Al. And Big Al had a big voice and a really deep throat, and when he talked on the radio, radio, your speaker rumbled, and everybody was in fear of Big Al. And I had an opportunity to meet Big Al one time, and he was about 5'2" and 145.
That's funny. I know there's a speaker I know, and I can't think of his name right now. He's the same way. When I heard his voice, I heard him on the air for a couple of years. And man, he is one big guy. Then I saw a picture of him, and he's a little guy.
Yeah, it's funny how you form mental pictures of people, and then when you see them, you're rarely right.
Yeah, that's correct. You are rarely right. You blows your. You have to kind of It's hard to get some of the images out of your head, really, because no, that can't be him. It's not him. It doesn't look like him.
Oh,
Hey, Richard.
Okay. Sorry, I'm at the tail end of the net. I'm almost home, so I may catch you on. What are you going to do? 6 meters, I guess, tonight?
Yeah, 2 meters upper sideband and 6 meters upper sideband.
All right, I'll try if I can make it.
All right, sounds good. We'll catch you later. K4PEW. What that? Richard, what'd you say?
I said it's not that I'm tall, dark, and handsome. I actually I'm short, fat, and ugly.
Well, no, it was just people get impressions of what people sound like, and then it kind of blows their mind when it's not that.
Well, I have always historically been the world's worst at trying to figure out what somebody look like by their voice.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I do the same kind of thing. And, of course, one guy, I think I may have mentioned this before. He was a young fella at the time, and I showed up at a ham fest in South Florida, and he was like, "Wow." He goes, "You can't be an extra." I go, "Why is that?" He goes, "You don't have a pot belly."
When did a pot belly become a prerequisite for extra life? Oh man, are you gonna do the east side of the world?
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll be there. I'm gonna check you in right now. How's that? You and Stephanie?
That'll work. KI4SIB, KI4SOR. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, very good. That's Richard and Stephanie, KI4SIB and KI4SOR, just west of Lebanon. Who else is south or east?
WA4ZHI.
Hold on. We had James in there. James, you sound great. There was somebody else, but James won. Everything well?
Yeah, doing great. How are you doing?
Well, you sound really tinny, like you're talking through a tin can or something.
Oh, that's just my tinny voice, I guess.
No, it sounds like there's a little echo and it's very tinny.
Well, I got my HT standing nearby. I wonder if it's echoing each other.
Oh, that's what's doing it. Okay, I got it. No, but your signal's good.
And I got my computer on. I was hearing everybody too.
Oh, okay. So you got two sources there competing. All right, well, very good. Anything else for the net tonight, James?
No, having a good week so far.
Very good. That's the way it should be. All right, you have a good night and a good Sunday. That was James here in Mount Juliet. Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. Who else is east? Hey, Rich, how you doing up there in the hinterlands up there north?
Oh, we're doing pretty good here, Paul. Hope you're doing as well.
Oh yeah, we're doing great. You must have had a frost up there this morning.
Well, I don't know about this morning. I slept in a little bit, but we did have pretty frost during the week.
Yeah, I'll bet you did. How's Hartsville holding up there?
Well, I was downtown yesterday, and everything was still there, going strong.
Oh, it'll continue to go strong. It seems like a little town, but it's going to be growing, like you said.
Definitely. Most every day you find a new spot where they're building a new home.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, everything's going to be eaten up. I mean, Watertown is in the same boat as you are. They're going to be growing too.
Yeah, everybody got to live somewhere, Paul.
Oh yeah, they just don't want to live in Nashville.
Myself, I don't even care about going down there anymore.
No, not really. Me neither. I'm in the same boat. I avoid it because I don't really need to be that that much traffic is a pain. It's enough traffic here in Mount Juliet.
Well, the traffic is getting heavier. I know last week we're down in Nashville, and we saw the city about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and the traffic was already unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. I've encountered the same things right in the middle of the, after lunch at 2 or 3 o'clock. It doesn't matter what time. Downtown, all around downtown on the interstates or in the city are very busy. Anyway, Rich, good to have you in there. Let me move on. That's Kilo Charlie 2 Lima Foxtrot Tango, and he is in Hartsville. Good signal for Hartsville. Who else is east or anywhere?
Okay, I'm for excuse me.
Yeah, you still sound terrific, Stan. That the radio is doing you good.
Thanks, Paul.
Anything else good for the net?
Nah, just don't want to hold you up. Carry on.
All right, very good. That's Stan in Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is east or anywhere? Any lollygaggers, lurkers, or sandbaggers?
E4 to easy.
Ah, very good. You beat the clock there, Earl. You beat the lollygagger clock.
Oh, well, yeah, I was just trying to make sure I didn't key on anybody or vice versa or anything like that, I guess. Everything's hunky-dory over here in the big city of Noreen. Hope everyone's having a good daggone change of season. K4 DZ73.
Yeah, very good. I think all the leaves fell off my maple tree simultaneously. They all hit the ground with a thud. That was Earl, just over Noreen on the other side of Cedars of Lebanon Park. That's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Anybody else lollygaggers, lurkers, or sandbaggers? Last chance for scanner listeners, preppers, and any HT owner.
KU4XQ.
Wow, I haven't heard from you. And how you doing?
Hey, Paul, it's Tim over here in Hendersonville. Doing all right, man. I just came out here to the shack and turned the heater on and thought I'd fire this thing up. I ain't knocked the dust off of it, I guess.
Wow, you must have been busy. Give me your call again, because I know I screwed it up. Is it KM or KN? Or is it KM at all?
It's Kilo Uniform 4 X-Ray Quebec. World's worst call sign.
No, it's not. I gave you a choice, M or N, and it was a U, so I'm not a good guesser at all.
Hey, man, it's all right. You ain't the first.
No, it's funny how I'm getting old, I guess. My attention span's real low. Anyway, how's things going up there?
Oh, man, they're all right. Just working on old junkie cars, just trying to stay above water,
Well, you're doing something. I don't know how old you are, but you're doing something I could not do as I approached my 50s and 60s. Because every time I start working on my car and I got to work like over the engine, leaning over, my lower back can't take it.
Hey, man, I know the feeling. I can't do it right now. I'm searching desperately for something else. My back's broken in a couple of spots. I've had all kinds of guided needles and all that garbage, but it's all you know. When you've been doing it since you was 18, you gotta suck it up and take it by the horns and just do what you can do.
Start your own shop and hire the mechanics to do the work.
Man, let me tell you about it. They've made a lot of money off of me over the years. That's what I need to do.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they do make a lot of money on factory. Now when I say factory service, dealer service mechanics, yeah, they're making a ton of money.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I appreciate what you do there, Paul. 73's all around. Sorry I ain't been in here in a while. I'll try to get in here more often now that I'm realize that my radio still works. 73, man, have a good week.
Yeah, that's great, Tim. Yeah, you don't need to, but we just like to hear from people. It's not like there's any requirement. It's just we love to hear from people like yourself. That's Tim in Hendersonville, Kilo Uniform 4 X-Ray Quebec. Anybody else? All right, we hit 29, and we're going to move over with, unless there's some one of the local federal courts says I can't, we're going to move over to 20. No, we're moving over to 144,240 upper sideband. 144,240 upper sideband. If you don't have that, but you got 6 meters, we'll be going over to 6 meters right after that, and that's on 50.135. So anybody else checking out or checking in? All right, we're moving over to 144.240. Be there momentarily. All right, it's K4PW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net for check-ins on the 2-meter upper sideband net. Please come now from the north. We'll come back to it. Nobody north? How about west?
KO4, HSC, David in Bellevue.
Hey, David, that's Kilo Oscar 4, Hotel Sierra Delta. David in Bellevue, good signal, by the way. Who else is north or west?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Yeah, great signal, Jack. You sound good. Like I said, almost like FM on that for you. It's Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is north or west?
Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo, Greg and Antioch.
Hey, very good, Greg. Greg, you sound terrific. That's Greg in Antioch, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is north or west? Northwest or south?
In Rockville.
All right, hold on. We had 3 in there, but I heard Kilo in 1, Sierra Papa Delta. I heard Scott in there. Sounds real good. Scott, you're doing real well. It's Kilo 1, Sierra Papa Delta, Scott in Laverne. And then I heard Kilo Mike 4, Tango Mike. Tom in Rockville, obviously with a great signal. How are you copping people with on the sideband portion, Tom?
Well, to be honest with you, Paul, I don't know. I just tuned frequency right before you called us out, so I really haven't had time to hear anybody.
Want me to start over?
Yeah, can you start the net all over just for me?
Yeah, that's right. Well, there'll be some more. If there isn't, we'll have to start do a couple of tests. All right, who else is south or west or south? Anybody north, west, or south?
November 4, Delta Juliet Tango.
Ah, very good. Sound good tonight there. How much power are you running on the upper sideband tonight, Don?
Just 100 watts.
Okay, no, you sound good. Very good. It's as good as it was on 2 meters. Just not as clear as the FM, but you sound good.
Groovy.
How you copying him there, Tom?
No problem at all. Perfect signal. I wanted to know, Paul, real quick, if my audio is acceptable. I'm not real active on upper sideband so far with this 9700. Do you think I have everything set okay? Is it too much, not enough, too high, too low? What do I need to do?
I'm going to ask for a second opinion, but you sound like your radio needs calibrating because it sounds just a hair off frequency because your voice sounds lower than it does on FM. Don, are you hearing that?
Yeah, I will make a suggestion. 9700 does have one problem, and it's a little drifty at times. And you can fix that by going into the menu and adjusting the reference point, but I got sick and tired of doing that. So I have a GPS reference oscillator that plugs into the back of the radio, the 10 megahertz input there, that little SMA connector, and it keeps this radio dead locked on frequency all the time. So yeah, you do sound a little bit low.
Okay. I thought something was going on because I was receiving the same kind of situation. I tuned my frequency to 144.240.05, and you guys sound normal. So did that make me sound better?
Yes.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, just go on eBay if you want. And there's I think it's like $40 or something like that. And it's a little box. It's got a GPS antenna on it, and a little SMA connector. It goes from the box to the radio, and it gives you a locked 10 meg signal into the radio. And if you have problems doing it, you just give me a holler. My email's good on QSZ. I can help you set it up over a phone call. It takes like 3 seconds. But then the radio's always on frequency. So yeah, if I say somebody's off frequency, they're off frequency.
Okay, got it. eBay, $40. What would I search for? Just the GPS? You don't need it, yes?
Yeah, 10 meg GPS oscillator or reference oscillator. Yeah, you'll see it. It's like
So it's in a little project box. It's got a green panel on it. Some are a little different, but and it works real great. It keeps this thing dead on frequency. It's not horrible down here on 2 meters, but on 440, if you're doing, if you ever get any kind of long haul stuff or like EME, doing digital, the drift is enough to definitely jack up a Q-tone.
Okay. Now, will I be able to receive this GPS signal with this box inside a metal-sided building? My shop, my Radio Shack is in a metal-sided building. Will I still be able to receive that signal?
If your phone does, you should. The box should, yeah. I don't know if it came with an antenna or I bought a separate one, but I've got a real long cord on the antenna, and I got it's a little hockey puck, about I don't know, maybe an inch and a half square, and I have it sitting on my windowsill and it works no problem.
Okay. I would have to have something like that because my cell phone is useless inside this building. I had to have a cell phone booster, and then I can get a signal in here, but just barely. So that could be an issue. Okay, I got that noted down on my pad. I appreciate the suggestion, and I'm gonna look into that because I thought I had a situation going on here on sideband. It looks like 240.05 is where I need to be. So appreciate the help and don't want to hold up the net, but thanks, and I'll look into that. Back to you, Paul. K4PEW, KM4TM, Tom in Rockville.
Yeah, write that down when you do the review on the web about our net, that it's good for something on advice.
I will do, sir.
No, it's just that's a neat thing to be able to do that, though. The only way you know about those things if somebody knows you and hears it on the air and can hear the differences in the signal and or the tone or how the microphone sounds. It's all those little issues that come up. But I wanted to hear a second opinion because I was pretty sure my hearing was, because you see how little difference it takes on the frequency, to make your voice change. Anyway, that was November 4 Delta Juliet Tango and Tom, KM4TM. Who else is south or east? All right, hold on a second, Earl. I had Stan in there, KM4HQE, and a good signal there, Stan. And I heard Earl in there, KE4DEZ, and Noreen. That's Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Both with good signals. Who else is south or east? Anybody else south or east or anywhere?
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kill.
Very good, Frank. You sound good. How are you copying people tonight? Well?
Yeah, everybody's coming in pretty good, on sideband especially. He was off. I had the same exact problem with my 9700, but for sideband, you don't need that thing at all. It doesn't drift enough. You just have to set the reference, but for digital, oh yeah, you need it. I'm still gonna get the same thing, but I'm gonna get probably a Leo Bodnar, more expensive one. I don't know. I just like having good stuff.
Oh yeah, I understand. No, very good. But again, that's how we find out little problems with our systems, as people listening to what you sound like.
Yeah, I was off. But the thing is, with off, unless somebody announces the frequency you're on for sideband, there is no off. You just tune to the guy that's doing the net.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. You ever had anybody do that when they say, when you're calling Sega, they'll tell you you're off frequency, and you go, what? I'm the one that's on the frequency. You meet me.
Right. Because we have a set frequency, we can say that here. But man, they get you in trouble in HS.
Absolutely. It's really silly that. I mean, here, yes, it makes more sense. In fact, it's good to know, if there's differences in what's going on, but it doesn't really matter ultimately.
You know what I actually used? I mean, because I know your voice is so good. That's how I fine tuned it. But what I really did to get the reference set was I actually used my SDR radio as a spectrum analyzer with the app and did it that way. Now, on the SDR, it has the input for that satellite signal as well, so that you can really use it as a spectrum analyzer.
Yeah, well, on the 991, you can actually tune it sounds like the poor man's way, but you go over to YouTube and you go to the reference signal from what do you call it, out west in Colorado, and all you got to do is tune to that.
Well, I can't. Yeah, that's because the 991 is a check in a box. I can't. The 9700 is not. It's VHF, UHF only. But my 7000, my 7000, and my 7300, I did it that way, but I didn't have to do anything. It was already on.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Just go to that that zero beat frequency, and it works great. And again, you have to have maybe some people don't have an ear for that, but obviously I have some ability to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, once you said it, at least it said at 10,000. That's the one that comes in the best most of the time.
Yeah, very good. That was Frank here in Northwest Mount Juliet, Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo. Anybody else out there? Any place, anywhere on 144, 240. All righty, we're going to move over to 6 meters on 50.135, and unless I hear somebody complain. All right, moving over to 50.135. Be there momentarily. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey on 6 meters for this Mount Juliet Simplex Net North. Please come down.
Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo.
All right, got you in there, Frank. That's Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Kilo. Who else is North?
WB0NLO.
Ah, you're great. How you doing? You're doing great there, Mark. That's Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar Oscar. Who else is and Mark's in Northwest Mount Juliet, Northwest Wilson. Who else is North? North or West? North or West? Please come down. Hey, Jack. A little hazy on the signal, but I can read you fine. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor. Who else is West? Yeah, Greg, you sound fine. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is West?
Let's try with the amplifier on. Number 4, Delta Juliet Tango.
Yeah, I was wondering where you were. Yes, what'd you go to, Don, on the amp?
I just running about 700 watts right now, but I was started out at 5 watts. So I didn't have the amplifier on. Like, why is nobody hear me? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that would do it. 5 watts ain't going to cut it on 6 meters. Very good. That was Don in Bon Aqua, November 4 Delta Juliet Tango, with a whole bunch of wattage, burning up the airwaves. Who else is West? West or South? West, South, or East?
Okay, I'm going to.
All right, got you in there, Stan. You sound good. It's Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Anybody else East? Anybody else, any place, anywhere? Please come down. Nothing heard. Then we can go ahead and close out the net. We had 7 on 6 meters, and we had 10 on 2 meters upper sideband, and we had 29 on FM. So we appreciate everybody. I say we, it's me and the dog. So yeah, we appreciate everybody in there. And we'll catch you on another net or somewhere tomorrow or the next day. K4PW. Have a great night. And we'll see you on the 10 meter net tomorrow night. Closing the net.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, yes, Don.
So, N4DJT Friday.